Welcome back to McCarthy Performance. Today we'll be doing a Subaru head. I have two of them to do. I've already done the exhaust and we're going to do the intake. Now I use stones on these guys. I have a seat and guide machine. I learned how to do valve jobs with stones a long time ago. Before stones I had a new way cutter system, and I used to cut them by hand. So I'm used to doing them this way. I can put it on the seat and guide machine. I feel personally that the seat and guide machine may take a little bit more off. With the valve train being so critical on these, I only touch them up till they clean up. So, and you can do that, yes, on the seat and guide machine, but you're bringing in a cutter that has maybe three profiles on it, angles, and you're going to have to go down until everything cleans up. And you know, if you like doing it that way, that's great. I'm not saying this is the best way. I'm saying this is what I do on a normal touch-up job. Now, if them seats all needed to be profiled and they were raw square seat, I would put it on the seat and guide machine. I feel like I have more control over it with stones. So that's what we're going to do with these. And I have all my stones dressed for angles, and I have all my stone holders setting out. So I'm going to go through and cut the seats right now. So we'll get going on that. I'm going to hit it with a 35, and I'm going in here with a 60. I don't do 65 because it seems like it wants to screw into the seat, and sometimes it can explode, even with a bounce spring. These little seats, I don't really use a bounce spring on them. It don't take too much to get things going the way you want. So I'm going to dress this 35, and then we're going to start on this. Okay, so I'm going to bring down the 35 and I'm going to bring in my 60, and I'm going to split half the width of the 45. Okay, this is where we're at, and what I do is measure the amount of material that I've already taken off by my eye. That's how I measure it, and it's pretty damn close. You can measure it with something more accurate than your eye, but that usually works pretty good. I'm going to try to get you a better view here. It'll be hard. Okay, so now we're going to go in with our 60. You want to make sure these are down as far as they go, walk their way up. Okay, so we're going to call that pretty much good right there. Now we're going to establish our 45 on top of that. Get rid of a couple little pits I see poking their head up. That's going to have to be redressed. And I use a little marker for aid. like to mark them in at least the 12 and 9 position, 3 and 9 position. You can put more marker on it if you want. With these little valves in such small guides, you got to be so very careful to not push it, because you can put that seat wherever you want. So I try to float it. I try not to. I make sure that I try to make sure that I'm not pushing it anyway. Kind of let it find its happy place. So we got them two done. We'll go on to the other two now. And then I'll show you, I'll take the camera off, and then I'll show you the seats. Always make sure you want your guides clean, your pilots clean. Try to get as much of that dust off of them as you can, because it'll wear stuff out. I hit a little poker. Maybe this will work better. Okay. Adjust my sissy. Okay, I can see still a little left of the 45 because it's rusty and it's got pits in it. So we'll take it down just a little further, not much more. That's pretty darn good there. So now we're going to hit it with a 45. You want to use very light pressure when you're letting the stone do the work. Don't push the stone. We're going to touch up our 45. looking across the 45s and I'm looking at them visually. These two are good. This one's good. This one here is just a hair bit thicker. And I will say that that is good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a valve and I'm going to lightly lap the 45s just to see where the width is, and then if I want to go back I can control them, touch it up with the 35 and adjust the seat width. But they're all pretty good right now. If you look at them, that one to that one, and then that one to that one, they're pretty close. And I use marker to aid in the help of the seats. Of course, the exhaust seats can be a little wider, and they most certainly are. And the intakes, I try to narrow them up a little bit more. They don't need to be as wide as the exhaust. So we're going to take a couple valves, and I'm going to lap the seats in, looking for width, not trying to put a crutch on a crappy valve job. Just it's going to show me exactly where the seats are as far as width, and that's what I'm after right now. So I've run a brush through the guides, taken the two pilots out to make sure that there's no crap in the guide. So we'll run the brush through them again one more time. Now this valve isn't the valve that I'm going to use in the head. This is an extra valve. It's the right size, everything's right on it, it's just we're not using it. And I'm going to use it for lapping the seats in for seat width. Now my old cup this is getting wore out, so we'll see how good it wants to stick, which it may not want to. This is 280 lapping compound, so it's not very aggressive. You can get finer, but probably ain't going to do much for you. We're going to wipe out the lapping compound. Of course, these will be washed and wiped out again. You always want to make sure you get all your lapping compound out. You don't want any of that in there. Yeah, allergy season's here, and I've got them. So if you hear me coughing, or it's because of the old allergies. Okay. First one looks like we can widen it out just a little bit. We're hitting right here on the valve. This is a new valve. It's been ground. Looks good. The first one is probably gonna widen that one up a little bit more. I'll show you. If you look, that first one is just a little bit thinner. I may just lap it lightly because I believe that I believe that I'm pretty damn good on that first one. It's just, I might touch it just a little tiny bit. I'll put a little more lapping compound and see what happens. That worked better and it didn't. Okay, I'm going to hit the first one just a little bit more. Quick touch up. I'm going to address it. The reason why I'm going to address it is because there's metal in the stone, and that won't give you a very good finish. You see that little chunk of stuff right there? That's metal. So we're going to adjust the stone. Call that good. We're going to lap it again, make sure we're close. But I think we're pretty damn close. I know people got $100,000 seat and guide machines, and that's all great and fine. But you know, at the end of the day, the valve really don't care what machine you got as long as they're sealing up good. And these will seal up just fine, and there'll be absolutely no reason to worry about them. Is it quicker with a seat and guide machine? Well, maybe so, but I got another set of heads sitting over by the seat and guide machine. It's all set up to do them. These are more critical. The other heads are not as critical, but you know, everybody that I know that's got a seat and guide machine, they still are hanging on to their stones. So if you got a seat and guide machine, you learned on a seat and guide machine, you probably think the seat and guide machine's better than sliced bread, and it probably is, but I still like doing stuff with stones. And I'm going to probably be doing stone valve jobs until they throw dirt on me. I may go down just a little bit more. I think I'm going to trim the second one just a little bit. That one looks like it's off just a shade. So I'm going to hit it with the 60. Go in there with the brush, get the crud out of the guide hole. Okay, so that's one head done. So I mean, by the time I would set the machine up for these heads, um, I'm doing this talking to you, but realistically I could probably do it in about almost half the time. Okay, that looks good, that looks good. I'm going to call that good. And stick that to there. I'll show you. They're not bad. They're pretty damn close. So the gray is the 45, and you can see it. This one here may need to be a little bit thinner. Yeah, once the valves gets run a few times, it ain't gonna matter, but I always like to try to get everything as close as I can. That little bit width isn't gonna change much, but I'm gonna hit it with a 30 just lightly. I'm calling that good. Yep. So we're gonna move on to the other head now. So I got the other Subaru head wire wheeled in the bowl areas and cleaned up. Get the carbon out of them, and we're on the intake side of the head, and we've got 60 that I've gone in and touched up these two. I'm going to hit it with the 35. Then we're going to put a 45 on top of that, and we'll get her going. You control the seat width. I went through this before, but maybe I'll try to explain it better. I've gone in there with the 60 and touched that up. Now, we've gone in there enough to remove some of the 45. Now we're going on the top with the 35, and we're hitting the top, and I'm looking down at the 35 as I just touched it, and I'm looking at the 2, and this one's just a little bit narrower than the first one. That's good. I can see some pitting because we had some pitting in the 45s. I can see it right on the edge. So when I hit it with the 45, we should be pretty good. We shouldn't have any pits in it. I'm going to do my 12 and 6 location and my 9 and my 3. So now I'm going to use the marker to control the width of the 45. Okay, this one's got a little bit of pitting on it. I can see it. There's a pit right there. I'll show it to you. If you look right here, right there is a pit. So we can't have that. That one's pretty cleaned up. So we might have to drop that one just a little. Okay, I like that. Gonna lap them and check them all and make sure they're within the same width on the 45, and then I will do what I did on the other one. We'll adjust it accordingly. Okay, you know, there's other ways of checking the seat width. I don't normally do it this way, but I have done it this way in the past. Is you take a marker and you just mark the whole entire seat if you want, or you can just do, 12, 6, 3, and 9. But you just take the stone on the holder and you just slide it on there. Give it a couple turns. Now, marker's fairly thin stuff, but it does kind of gummy up the seat, the stone. So that gives you an idea that them two, I'd say, are pretty damn close. This one here, if I can hang on to the phone and do it at the same time, I can feel the marker on the stone. And just turn it lightly. So that's how I do it. I think I'm gonna touch that one up, maybe just a little tiny bit. I guess it looks a little bit thicker, not by much. I'm gonna hit that one. Well, I know it ain't too exciting, but this is how you do a valve job with stones. At least that's how I do it. I appreciate you watching my videos, and if you like, please like and subscribe. That would be great. Thank you.